talk about ball pythons and the care for them and what we recommend for their tank and setting them up. So we recommend starting with a 20-gallon for a baby, and then whenever they get to adult size, we do recommend moving them to a 40 breeder because they do get around 4 to 6 foot depending on the gender and the specific animal. As you can see, we're using aspen bedding. We use that versus the dirt and soil because the dirt and soil may trap humidity as well as getting stuck in their vents or their nose or anything like that. The aspen bedding is really spacious and easy to clean and stuff like that, so we prefer to use that. So the temperature that is generally kept is going to be around 90 to 95 degrees. You're just going to make sure you set up that gradient with one side hot and one side cold. You want to keep it around 70 to 75 on one side so they can't escape that heat. The lighting that we generally recommend for the ball pythons is going to be the infrared bulb just because they are nocturnal. And so you can keep that on throughout the night versus the basking. If you're going to go with a 20-gallon tank, we recommend getting 75 watt infrared or high beam. If you're going to do the 40-gallon, we recommend getting the 100 watt. Yeah, we prefer the infrared just because you can keep it on all night. With the brighter lights, you're going to have to turn it on and off. Generally, we're going to feed a ball python the appropriate size prey that's going to be about 1 to 1.5 times the thickest size of its body. Generally, if it's getting it down within less than 10 minutes, we recommend moving up the size or maybe doing a couple. And we can always help you try to find what prey is good for your ball python. We do live and frozen is what we sell here. These specific ball pythons are going to be fed live feeders. Around a hopper mouse is the size we generally will feed them. It kind of varies with the snake. You can put them on frozen. Some of them automatically are on frozen, but sometimes they just gravitate more towards live. And the maximum size that an adult ball python is going to eat is going to be a medium rat. And we do have those here that you can buy, live or frozen, so that's generally where they'll max out at. Along with the snake feeding, we generally feed our babies anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week, and when they get older, we switch to once a week. So it kind of depends on your own snake, but that's the general format that we use. The daily care that we go through is going to be taking out the water bowl and washing it and filling it with fresh water. As well as spot cleaning the tank, checking for any poop or anything like that. Along with that, you can do a health check, and I can go through that example for you. So we're just checking to make sure there's no shedding issues, as well as any kind of ailment that the snake may have. If you are going to check for mites, there's 2 main spots that we recommend checking. And the first one is going to be under the head, and so you're going to spread that open and just make sure that there's no mites or black dots in there, and he looks really good. The second place is going to be their vent, which is right under their tail. So let's see. So you can kind of see in there and make sure that there's no kind of moving little black dots or anything that would be troublesome for them. And that's generally the health check that we'll perform on them. And we recommend doing that daily just to keep a good check and know what's going on with your animal. Ball pythons are very handleable. That's actually one of the first snakes that we'll recommend to new snake owners. They're good for experienced snake owners too all over. They're very docile, as you can see. He's not trying to, get away really fast or slide out of my hands. He generally is, keeping by me. I haven't personally had any ball python bite me or anything like that. I don't know if it should. But yeah, they're really docile. Definitely one of the first snakes, along with cord snakes, that we'll recommend to someone who hasn't had a snake. And there's a bunch of different morphs and pretty colors that you can choose from too, as far as that goes. Kind of freaked out on me, but yeah. And you're gonna want to pick them up and just make sure that their body is completely supported. If they don't feel supported, they may, back up or feel threatened or unsafe. As well as watching out for the head. They are a little head shy. You don't want to be booping them on their nose or anything, as some people may believe. They do like to keep their face, completely open and stuff like that.